Hello. I kind of didn't want to make this, but I feel like I have to. I was a ground floor Halo 1 player. I saw at a friend's house at 11 years old and went and raked leaves and sold old games and did everything in my power to get an Xbox as soon as possible. Um, played 1 through 3 on release, dabbled less in games in college, would play Halo 1 and 2 on PC occasionally throughout the years, and then once 2020 came around and MCC was released on PC, I hit it quite hard. So I feel like you may not agree with my opinions, but they don't come from the ether. And there's some funky stuff with this release I want to talk about. The first is how incredibly they botched the release. So normally if you charge some kind of premium access to get the game early, you don't screw that up because you're literally making people pay for that. However, Microsoft and Halo Studios here, hold on one second. Sorry, some coffee went down wrong. The companies involved here made it where if you have a disc release, you could play it 24 to 48 hours earlier than the early access people. So, and then yesterday the early access starts and it doesn't work and the system goes down for a while, causing a whole bunch of pissy people in the internet to rightfully get angry. It's a total botch. Kind of a shameful botch. Some of the stuff I'm seeing is, I guess not alarming, but kind of crazy. They've added kill barriers to tons of places. Um, that's a Reach feature, and this is on the Reach Blam engine, so I guess I'm not surprised, but it definitely goes against the spirit of a lot of the original games that you could like mess around, get into places you aren't supposed to go. There's a skull that allows you to do that they've, added. So, pretty bizarre. The voice acting, I think, is highly questionable in the little bits I've seen, and I'm going to pull up a playthrough here probably and just watch some footage, but very bizarre choices in tenor and tone, uh, camera movement. Sometimes they're trying to mimic the storyboards. Sometimes they just kind of like hold on shots for no reason, like a bad student film. Move the camera in crazy ways, change things for almost film school like reasons. Some real bad writing and dialogue. This one kind of drove me nuts, and apparently it's an option, so I can't rag on it too hard. But they changed the directional aim steering to normal modern steering, which it's an option, like I said, so I would just change it back. But that wasn't just the Halo 1 thing. They kept that and like the whole series because it works. I know some people struggle with it, but those are the same people that can't understand how tank controls work. Hmm. Another interesting thing is the French dub seems to be AI. They did not take the old lines. They did not hire new actors, as far as anyone can tell. They just used AI to synthesize it up. Just kind of gross, These games have dubs in multiple languages. Even though I'm a, dirty American and only speak English, I've enjoyed playing them with the other voice packs and recording those just to hear. You learn some words, learn some things. Some of them are downright interesting. I really like the Japanese one, honestly. Kind of crazy. If you're not gonna do it right, then maybe just don't do it at all. Just don't dub it. Instead of disrespecting a whole language. All right, so this is one of the ones I saw about a kill barrier. This guy jumps around the side of Silent Cartographer. Pretty sure this is above the door unlock area. You know, doesn't do anything crazy, just jumps on some walls, one grenade jump, and he's on top of that structure. And then he happens to wander back towards the intended area and gets insta-killed. No even out-of-bounds warning, just boom, death trigger. Right about here. It's like he touches the rock. That's silly. Especially with the Acrophoria Flying Skull. Like, come on, man. I'm definitely seeing problems with the AI. Yeah. I mean, this is a post I actually haven't seen yet, but like the amount of Halo Reach elites, and I say this as someone who didn't play Reach until MCC. It came out when I was in college and I was not gaming. But those elites are no joke. The one thing, even though I was a little off put by Reach my first time playing it, I immediately locked onto the fact like, oh, this seems to be the natural evolution of the Halo CE elites. Like they're smart, they move fast, they dodge, they roll, they approach you in cover if they think they have your shields down. I loved the way they spoke in alien language, kind of like the first game, but even more like foreign and scary sounding. Like the whole package there really works. And the amount of videos I saw in the demo footage now of the elites just standing still and letting you kill them is crazy. That is not how they worked in C, and that's not how they worked in Reach, the basis for this game's AI, clearly. I think something was screwed up in translation, and because they use contractors and no one knows how to test stuff, they just let it run. And it really seems like they've maybe tried to increase the damage and the number of enemies as a way of not making that terribly obvious. Yeah, elites in patrol mode where there's a battle literally taking place around them, that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, if you enter, it's funny. A good example would be the first hallway of Assault on the Control Room. If one of the grunts runs to the back of the hallway and I shoot them, that elite in the next room is on guard. He knows there's an attack out there. He's waiting for me. He's facing the door, ready to go. They don't just walk around confused. You know, if you're within their realm of hearing and you shoot, they react. I mean, there's almost never a situation in Halo 1, 2, 3, or Reach where you bait someone into a hallway, turn around, and they go back to patrolling in the room they were in. I mean, you can maybe make that happen with the Flood, but you could not make that happen with elites in this series. Why did it take away his post? I was reading that. Yeah, I think there's some screwy stuff going on there. This seems crazy. My assumption is that is there's too many collision checks because it's not slipping on the plasma goo. That's way too advanced for this team. It's a bug. It's a collision bug. Like you hit a death trigger that shouldn't even be there, or clip into a wall and it insta physics kills you, or something nuts, something that doesn't make sense.
They're on that ledge.
It seems pretty crazy that I'm seeing a lot of complaints about the checkpoints from professional reviewers and fans. Obviously, that was something people have always complained about. I always thought those complaints were kind of overwrought. Like, if you kill all the enemies and then go through a trigger, you almost always get a checkpoint. People don't get them because they leave enemies alive and run. And when I'm playing on weird mods or hard difficulties, like, you clear out all those enemies to the best of your ability, and then you're more likely to have a saving checkpoint. This is interesting. I predict this will be fixed. Fully charged plasma shots plasma pistol shots can insta-kill you, and not just on Legendary. I've seen videos of this happening on Heroic and Normal. That's a bug. In some of the later games, they switched the plasma pistol to do more health damage than shield damage, particularly Infinite. I think this might be some kind of error in the code. Because, I mean, there's just no way that, especially on Normal or Heroic, that one, that should take your shield and part of your health. That's how it's always worked. Not insta-murder you from full health like this person had. Very full health top there. That has to be a bug. And it's pretty crazy that they didn't test that. I mean, like, did you not? No one ran into that?
Just tell me what you need.
Dropship inbound.
It won't let two buttons have the same interaction. Overshield is one layer, it gets depleted very fast. Every time an elite melees and kills me, my body just disappears. Plasminades disappear after being thrown. I mean, ultimately, they have never made a fully finished, feature complete, truly functional game, so this doesn't shock me. Hold on one more second. Whoa. The film grain and chromatic aberration is clearly a widely complained about issue. It seems like it's almost maxed out even on the lowest post-processing settings. On PC, you can fix that. On the consoles, you're stuck with it. Oh, this is another crazy thing, and I don't know if there's a way to turn this off from what I've read. Every enemy has a fucking marker over their head? What? It's a game for children, I guess. So he seems to be on that middle tower or somewhere nearby of 343 Guilty Spark. I can tell you from having played that campaign more times than I could count, they will run around to get on your side. They will jump up there and slap the crap out of you. They don't just stand there confused, running in circles and shooting the wall. Like, that's just, it's, oh. No hippo. I'm not surprised. That's the kind of detail only a real fan would know. I mean, yeah. It reminds me of Dark Souls 2's enemies, where they would just, like, lose sight of you and just their pathing would break. What? I Okay, these markers show up when they are forced to kill the enemies for the section to progress, which was very rarely a thing in Halo 1. There's a few instances of it, but it ain't common. I was worried about that. You're trying to port Halo 3 Flood AI and the Halo Reach engine, and then backport that into a new game. Like, of course something was gonna get screwed up. And Halo 3's Flood were already the lamest in the series. You just punch them and they blow up. It's another baffling choice. Sometimes they'll dodge, but most of the enemies don't react to grenades. And apparently they've just made hunters super crazy. And I mean, I don't blame them for making them harder, like Halo 1, are the easiest to exploit in the whole series, but in this case, this guy points out that a bunch of Jackal snipers see him, and he can even shoot at them, and they won't fire back. Like he's out of their range. And they're snipers. It's like, they should know he's there. He fired at one. He gets closer. Then they start shooting. Like, they have a range limit on their firing. But hey, they put a bunch of dancing crabs in, like the meme. The crab rave, hey? It's just crazy. You have people like, oh, they didn't forget about Linda's thing. It's like, well, good for them. They did the bare minimum. Damn. So something I think I can complain about from Reach is that I do think that the Elite's punch was a little too quick and not telegraphed. And people seem to be running, into that issue in this campaign Evolved. Like, they're just like, they immediately run out, punch me before I have a chance to respond that I'm dead, especially on Heroic and Legendary. Which is, whereas in Halo 1 Original, they definitely telegraphed that in a way that could be dodged. I actually feel like 2 was very similar as well. Like, they pretty much insta-killed you if they punched you, but there was enough of a telegraph to get around it if you were fast.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm seeing people, especially on PC, claiming that the game crashed, and that goes all the way to like a Washington Post video game reporter who I trust.
Warning, I've picked up reports that the Covenant...
That's interesting. If the cutscenes actually lose performance, that's pretty crazy, because they seem to be pre-rendered. Which in most cases means that, they've been designed and compressed in such a way that they shouldn't be doing that. Oh, I bet an enemy glitched into the pillar, and because you have to kill them to finish the area. Crazy. See, it's funny, that's the Death Island's out of bound thing, which I did not like in games. Like, if you're playing against other humans, that's disrespectful and wasting everyone's time, especially if you have the flag. But it's cool that you can do it if you're just screwing around, or playing with your friends for fun, or goofing off by yourself.
Okay, this is something that...
That seems like another one of these weird-ass collision bugs. How bizarre. Yeah, it's something like a super bounce. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, how many times have I played Truth and Reconciliation? I've never had the stepping up on a slight ramp murder me instantly. That's crazy. Well, it's funny. I personally do not care for the Halo Reddit. It is filled with a lot of people that are fans of this company to the point that they're willfully dishonest. That's the nicest way I can put that. And anytime anyone has brought up some of these very real things, usually with video evidence, you know, plasma pistols kill instantly, these out of bounds bugs are crazy, and, you know, it's crazy they kill you, filled with people going, why can't you just enjoy the game? Like, well, these are issues, and people tend to care about stuff that they've played for 20, you know, a quarter century. Oh, the animations on that's terrible.
Hang on. Time for a little payback.
Yeah, I don't care for that. I don't care for that at all. Yeah, and the original just felt cold and cool. This felt like a bad movie. Like,
Hang on.
honestly, that's a great comparison. It's like the cutscenes in Twin Snakes. That's the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake on GameCube, where they took things that were already a little exaggerated or a little anime and just like cranked them up to 500 to be cool. It's a very similar vibe here. Gives the same eerie feeling that AI videos do. I think we're going to find out that there's a lot of AI in this game. And it's not just like, oh, we use it for textures or skin. It's going to be like we used it for the entire French soundtrack and the audio. We used it for cutscenes. So, I mean, on what planet would this hunter that is directly aimed at Chief and ready to go, like, shoot up into the air? This one.
Hang on.
What? The way they move here, too, like, especially that one on the left, like, whoop, whoop, whoop. It's not the same animation they use when they're running towards them. It's almost like they're, like, waddling or lumbering. Weird stuff, man. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this recording for just a few minutes, get a coffee refill, stretch, have a cigarette, find a YouTube video of the game, and then I'm gonna watch and commentate on that some. So there'll be just a quick, 1 second pause here for you, but I'm gonna take 5 or 10. Hi, so I forgot I have another obligation, and I might try to do this as a separate video in case I have to cut it off early. So next one will be me watching the campaign and talking about it. Thanks for watching.